back. It's Mr. B XRP, and today I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Today I want to talk about open active corridors, potential corridors, and the way that XRP might rise in the future. So right now there, and you'll see on the screen, I've got a picture of all the open corridors, and I think there's maybe 8 corridors there. And from what I understand, it has been stated that there are actually 22,000 potential corridors for XRP to flow through. So we're certainly at the beginning of these corridors opening up. And in fact, you know, I did speak with a banker at Swell, and he was the banker that we've all been talking about, that he moves $350 billion a day. And the big issue for him is the corridors aren't open for him to start flowing the money. So these corridors opening, I think, are a big deal. But I would hope, and one of the things that I'd like to see in the future is Ripple has an XRP tab on their website that shows the as far as how much XRP there is, where is it, how much is in escrow, its performance, and all these other things about XRP and all these other links to XRP. But what I think would be cool is if Ripple would also add in a corridor meter, like for instance, show us how many corridors are open now, how many actual corridors could be open in the future, so that we can kind of be keeping track. I think it's a great way to measure the success of where they are, which is in you know, building those corridors. So I think that would be really cool if they can add it to their site. And I'm probably going to do a tweet later to Joel Katz and ask him, hey, is that something they can do in the future? So that might be an interesting thing. And also that picture that I have posted came from utility-scan.com if you want to check it out. I can't tell you it's 100% accurate. I don't know anything about it. I haven't had a chance to fully research it, but I really haven't seen anything else to go to. Now, I do understand that some corridors are open that are not showing there. And I was told on Twitter today that they're not showing there because there's no activity going through those corridors. So if anybody has the most accurate corridor information, please DM me on Twitter. I want to see the real corridors where we're at. I think it's important stuff to keep track of. So the number one question that everybody has in this space is, when will the price move? Period. That's the number one question. Everybody wants to know, when's the price going to move? When moon? When this? When that? And what I think is the more important question is how the price is going to move. So, and what will happen to make that price move? I think that's the big question. Now, there may be other possibilities, and I'm sure there are. There's probably endless possibilities. But there are 3 popular scenarios out there. And I want to talk about them. And one of the things I'm getting a lot in my comments of my videos is people are saying, hey, love your videos, short and to the point, factual only, and I appreciate that, and I'm trying to stay as factual as I can. But sometimes we do have to speculate, guys. It is a speculative asset, and we're not given a lot of information a lot of times, so we do have to speculate. So when I talk about some of these potential scenarios, I'm not telling you I agree with them. I'm just telling you they're floating out there. I will tell you what I think is most likely to happen at the end of this video, but there's a good chance I could be wrong. So I really can't say, but I'm going to share them all with you, not in full detail, but we're going to glance over them. So the 3 popular scenarios out there in the XRP community. One is the Shayne Ellis theory. I know it's controversial. I know people are lighting up right now and they're getting triggered and all this other crazy stuff. And here's the deal. Shayne Ellis popped on Twitter. He was on Twitter for a short period of time. And essentially what he said was the price of XRP is going to spike immediately by someone, something, some entity buying up the sell walls on an exchange. What exchange, we don't know, which would then cause arbitrage on the other exchanges, raising the value of XRP across the board all at once in sort of a mass enabled scenario. So that was the Shayne Ellis theory. And there's a lot more to the theory than that, but I think that's the easiest way to understand it. So all the sell orders get bought up, drives up the price. The arbitrage bots go nuts on the other exchanges. People FOMO in, drives up the price on the other exchanges. I don't know if that's possible. I honestly don't. I really have no idea. I don't know that anybody's proven it. I don't know that anybody's disproven it. I don't know, but it's one of the three theories. So that's the first one. The second one is the slow and steady theory, where XRP will rise slowly over a long period of time. We haven't seen that happen yet, so I don't know that that's the case. As I said in my video yesterday, David Schwartz doesn't think that's the case, but there's no proof that it won't be the case. So it's still on the table, and as Brad Keim says, until something's off the table, it's still on the table. So slow and steady is still on the table. The third way is a mass adoption event. And right now, I have to believe that this is probably the most correct one, or probably the one that's most likely to happen. And that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm just working with the same information you guys. So what a mass adoption event might be, in my opinion, is one day Ripple enables 20, 50, 200, 500 corridors all at once with ODL, and all at the same time. And maybe that's caused by regulation. Maybe something happens in regulation that they're able to light up all those corridors all at once, or maybe they're just waiting to light up those corridors all at once. I don't know. I'm speculating, but I think that them opening up all those corridors, maybe it's a coordinated effort with Ripple and SBI and others, to where they're all going to coordinate at the same time to open up the corridors. It's kind of the everyone off the bench jump in the game all at once scenario. So this theory is a mass adoption event, and would drive price. So the way it would affect price is everybody comes off the benches, everybody gets in the game, people start pushing money through the system. Maybe it's going to be, smaller transactions. And then as the price rises and people see that there's a lot more utility going through the system, obviously with all the larger amounts of money will be able to flow through the system as the price increases. So that would be a mass adoption event. And one of the ways I like to look at XRP and ODL in a visual sense is I look at it like this. Just imagine the corridors, right? The corridors, country to country corridors, are just highways. So just view them as highways in your mind. And then view the payments that move on those highways as cars. So every time a bank makes a payment, it's just a car driving down a highway, right? So you've got the corridor is the highway, the payment is the cars. And then what is XRP? XRP is the renewable, reusable fuel for the payments. So it's those cars, those payments are moving across the ledger, and they're using XRP to get there. And then you get to use it again. It's reusable fuel. So that's the best way to visually look at it, I believe, and to maybe explain to somebody what ODL is and really what Ripple is doing and what XRP is going to do ultimately. All this is speculation. Listen, this has never happened before. The big question of all to me in the XRP journey is, and this is the big question, if XRP is the first digital asset to rise in value, not from a dumb bull run, but from real utility that continues to grow, is there a possibility that it starts to rise in price and never looks back? That's the big question. And none of us know how that will play out. It's never, ever happened before. So we'll only know when it does happen and when we get to experience it. But in the meantime, we'll all talk about it. We'll all speculate about it. And we'll all kind of learn and share these facts and these speculations together. So I appreciate you joining me today. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a wallpaper hanger. I'm not a crypto expert. Don't make any financial decisions based on anything I say, and consider this video as entertainment only. Please like, subscribe, and share with anybody who you think would do the same. You can also follow me on Twitter at XRPMister. I thank you for joining, and everybody have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.